Jeff is going to say a few words about the instrument, and then Heather will talk about the piece.
Thank you very much. The things that Mike are wearing on his hands are part of an instrument I built 2 years ago. Is that the last time we did this course? Yes. 2 years ago. And they were actually built 2 pairs, and they were connected by a spring. And it was called the...
Accordion.
Yes, it was called... it had a lot of names. Actually, we called it the Handonian, which I thought was very nice. But actually, it was also called the Clacordion, because the keys that are available to the player, these 8 keys on all the fingers, we mapped to clarinet fingerings, which 2 years ago the players really enjoyed that because they were clarinet players. So we have a violinist and a vocal person. Okay, singer. So
also known as a singer.
So we've taken the same concept. By the way, it's ultrasound, meaning that there is probably, I have no idea, probably really loud sounds coming from Mike's hands and being picked up by the receivers, which are on this little cross here, this black cross. I imagine they're very loud, but they're higher than we can hear. So that's what makes it possible for us to use it as a way of measuring how close Mike's hands are to this cross. So there are 4 little receivers there. The computer figures out how close his hands are. It figures out which keys he's pressing down, and it makes some noises, and seems to work most of the time. I think that's all I have to say. And
Okay. So I decided, because I had to write for 2 performers instead of 1, to just write a few shorter pieces and try to explore some of the things that the instrument can and we've discovered cannot do. So I've just written 3 short etudes. The first one I've called, sorry, I have 2 notes here, Sleeping While Marching on 3 Legs. And it has one technique that's really quite difficult on this instrument, is to do fast sweeping motions in order to get a continual attack in a steady rhythm, which is actually quite difficult. So he has to do that throughout the entire piece, while the other hand is transferring between the sensors. And one thing Jeff didn't mention that I think is important about the instrument is that the space where your hand is not only controls the amplitude that's coming out, but the timbre actually changes as well. So one sensor has a 3-octave pitch range, so depending on where your hand is, you can control where the pitch is. We haven't quite mastered that because we've discovered it's quite an extended technique to find pitches in that, but that will come. And another one, there's a speed of vibrato that you can control at different rates on either of them. So they also not only have to control where they are up and down, but also where they are in space relative to what they hear, which can be pretty tricky. So the second piece, Mike will be, do you want to talk about all the pieces now? Yeah, okay. The second piece is kind of a coordination challenge. Mike will be playing that one as well, where he's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach, and he's got to do different motions of up and down while the triggers are doing different things, and the rhythm is changing from quintuplets and speeding up and down all at the same time, so it's a bit of an acrobatic feat. And the last one will be performed by John. It's called the Innocent Eye Test, and it uses really, really slow, carefully controlled motions as opposed to quick, rapid ones to create sort of more ambient sounds that the instrument can produce, and also has an interesting technique that you can use to get really fast, sharp attacks by having your hands come down really quickly and drawing them away at the same time. So hopefully all those things will work that you can hear.
Bye.